Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Live Beyond Average podcast. I am here with a really good friend of mine. I can't believe I haven't had him on the podcast yet. Dusty Sperlich. What is up, dude?
Yeah, dude. It's been a long time coming. So we talk about it every time, and it's just like we never set down a date. And over the holidays, we both had a little time. So
yeah,
it's good to get down here into the Run to Gun headquarters finally.
Yeah, dude. A little secret cheers to get started.
Yeah,
it's perfect. So pumped to have you on. Obviously, your schedule is about like mine when it comes to trying to make this mesh, because Dusty is the host and editor of Scowt Stories, which is a TV show as well. And so he's busy with that. He also works full time. He has 2 kids. Obviously, you have your wife.
Yeah.
Dude, you're a busy guy.
Yeah, it's we realize when we get in this industry, it's all about balance. And our first season, we put everything together, and it's just like, I don't know how Jordan gets to the point where he is and just seems so calm a lot of the time.
But you didn't know me my first season.
Yeah, so luckily by season 2, you kind of get the flow down and how you manage life, and you have the conversation with your wife that she can go to bed and you'll be there later. So
yep, and that totally happens. And it's funny because we've had that conversation between both of us. Is just that, you do get done with season 1 when you're filming a TV show, and you get done with it, and you didn't realize going into it how much goes into something like that.
Yeah. So we're just starting our season 3 this year, and
okay. Give us a recap.
Yeah. So season 1. So Jordan and I feel like I'm part of the OG crew on the Run to Gun, because Jordan and I met right around 2012.
Yeah. Let's actually, before we even get into Scowt Stories, let's just reverse and get history on you.
Yeah.
And we'll get into when we met. So first off, where are you originally from, and how did you end up around this area? Canton, Sioux Falls, Lennox area.
Sure. So I'm originally from Stickney, South Dakota, so kind of central South Dakota, over by Mitchell there. Grew up, born and raised there. Went into the military, and kind of had a lot of my buddies that were up in the Sioux Falls area. So found our way here and met my wife. She's originally from Lennox, so not too far away from here. And I was in ministry for a few years. We were over in Iowa, and she kind of got a job promotion, and we kind of said we're sick of the driving, so we wound back up here in Lennox. And we looked around the surrounding Sioux Falls area, and Lennox was a good feeling. We actually looked at a house right in your backyard, and I decided that was too close to Jordan. So
smart move. I was shooting arrows over your yard or something.
Seen you shoot before.
Exactly.
So I'm back in the IT industry, which is a good fit. It kind of keeps me up to date with the technology and everything we need to do in the day-to-day. Managing a TV show too, so plus I can get some sweet deals too this way. So
dude, I know where to go when I need new stuff now. Perfect.
So it was about 4 years ago. We were having a conversation, and you were kind of looking to do a spin-out show, and you knew another guy, Cole, our other partner in Scowt, and it was just kind of a thing where I talked to Cole, and we threw some ideas out there, and we just kind of instantly we kind of clicked on what we had for a passion, and just so our mantra of our show is just kind of sharing our stories. We're I always say Jordan's the professional, and we're just kind of the weekend warriors of this.
I don't know about that.
So we just kind of go out, and we have more of a fun time out there, and just kind of show the ins and outs of just being everyday dudes, doing what we love. And prime examples this season is I think I got out in South Dakota maybe a handful of weekends, and it's just the family life, and we started to do more of waterfall hunts this year, so you're trying to balance this weekend I'm going to go waterfall, but I should be scouting deer, and I should be home with the family, and so this season was all about balance for us. It really was, and kind of finding that click of what's healthy, and being a dad, and being in everything, and then we were just talking about the editing portion of everything coming in, so it's just kind of so that's kind of how I ended up where I'm at, and it's been an adventure. It's been fun, and what kind of starts out as a hobby, you think I could do this full time, and that's kind of where you got into your the Run to Gun stuff too. So that's hopefully our goal someday. But we have a lot of fun just doing what we're doing now. So so I work at a IT outlet over in Sioux Falls. Okay, buy and sell new and used IT equipment, anything from cameras, computers. Networking stuff, so that's kind of our day-to-day, what pays the bills, so we can do what we love, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's totally what it takes. I mean, we've talked about how many years it was, for us doing full-time Run to Gun and working full-time, 6 seasons. Doesn't happen overnight. You just gotta be patient and enjoy that process. But it's obviously challenging at times. Like it's like you said, you worked at this whole season was balancing. Like I want to be out scouting deer, but I could go film some waterfowl and have an episode made. Like trying to be useful time and effective with that time. Sometimes that's sacrificing some stuff. So. So you guys are filming season 3 right now, right?
Yep, we're about wrapped up with that. We just got a couple. We'll do some late season goose hunting up in the Pier area. I guess it's not late season up there, but late in the season for us.
Yep.
And then we always kind of one thing I like to do is our cameraman. He's, obviously you working with Matt, you kind of know how it goes. Is you're always stuck behind the, Matt's stuck behind the camera, and we every year we like to take our cameraman out on a hunt. So we always take him out turkey hunting right around this area, actually in the Canton area. So we let him have first shot every time we do all the calling for him, film for him. So he enjoys that, and it's just a fun time to kind of see. He never grew up hunting, and we just kind of went through, got the show up and running, and we said, hey, we need someone to film for us that has a pretty flexible schedule. And at that time, he wasn't married. He still has no kids, so it works out good so far. But
there'll become a time.
One of these days I'll have that conversation, and I'm sure Scowt will maybe get slid to the back a little bit. But we're pretty fortunate to have a pretty good crew with him, and he's really flexible, and he enjoys the outdoors, enjoys kind of seeing a new perspective on what we have for passions, and
that's awesome.
Sharing our passions to him. So we take him out turkey hunting. We usually film that. So that's in May, but that's kind of more of a light, like if we get one, we get one. We're just
casual.
You've been turkey hunting too. It's just kind of like it happens so fast. It's if you make an episode, you make an episode. Throw it up on YouTube, and
it's extra content. And that's part of this game too. Just like the extra content thing, some things are going to turn into episodes, some things aren't, and you have record of the ones for fun anyway. That's kind of what it is. So you have, when we'll see, you're finishing up season 3, when will that Scowt Stories actually hit like cable and YouTube and things like that?
So we'll air on Midco. We'll air the first weekend of August. I don't know that date offhand, so August 2020.
Nice.
First weekend in August. We pushed that back. The last couple, first seasons we were shooting in the July, the start of the third quarter, and like we talked about, it's just like you start to get that editing going during the season when you're still hunting, and it's just like, and then I think viewers too kind of like more of a, come that August time frame, you're kind of getting pumped up, getting prepped for the season too, and I know at least for myself, that's some of the bigger channels have their outdoor weeks and stuff going on at that time, so it's kind of cool just to turn it on there while you're making arrows or while you're cleaning your guns or whatever, and here's some fresh up to date content.
The new content right before you're heading out gets you a little extra, gets you a little amped up. I agree, man. Do you guys have any cool what's like, can you tell any of the cool hunts that you guys did this year? What can you give us?
So we'll be airing our Audit Hunt, which of course you were out there for.
We were out there with Travis. Was it early February last year?
Yep. It was, I believe it was first weekend because my anniversary is the 14th, Valentine's Day.
Yeah, because he got moved this year. Because now I'm out there like mid-February. But we were out there for like 4 or 5 days, and then you rolled into camp, and you guys hunted for like 4 days, right?
I think we did the 4 days out there. It was kind of lucky too because we use the same cameras, and I had forgot to charge.
Yes, dude, I forgot about this.
So. We had to charge all of our batteries and make sure everything was before you guys took out of camp because I dropped the ball on that one and I forgot to charge. I can't even blame the cameraman.
You had the camera equipment when you left home?
Yep, and I didn't grab the charger.
I forgot. You guys charged up all your cameras on our stuff before we left, and we actually would have left you our charge, but we were filming right into another something else right into when we left.
Matthew was going with your dad for a hunt or something.
Oh, that's what it was. My dad was going. My brother was staying in New Mexico. Me and Matt and Travis were going to drive all the way back to South Dakota. My dad was coming down for a mountain lion hunt. And so we dropped Matthew off in like Raton or something and just like left him at a hotel. And then my dad rolled in the next day, picked him up. So my brother was down there for like 2 weeks or something. And you know how Matthew is. He gets gone about more than 6 days. He wants to be home.
Get a little homesick,
Yeah, he likes to work on his projects and like he likes to film and then work. So that was a long trip for him. I don't think he had done like a 12-day trip since he hunted season 3 or 4. He was like 13 days in Montana on the ground in a little tent with Matt hunting elk. That was a test for him. That was good.
Yep. So that'll be airing this season. I'm excited to see that one. It just kind of timing wise, last year we couldn't fit it in there, and kind of some episodes we didn't want to overstay our welcome. hunt episodes last year. So
yeah,
and it was we didn't want to cut it short for viewers too, and push out content that was just rushed. So we said we'll just throw it on the next season, which worked out good because some of the tags we count on. So I lived in Iowa and I moved back to South Dakota. So the tag situation was so much different this year because as a non-resident of South Dakota, the archery tags you're guaranteed. They're over the counter. We're limited to number. And, so we'd always get South Dakota archery tags living in Iowa, and then the Iowa tags, of course, in Iowa.
Yeah.
Which we have some just phenomenal ground down there.
And how many tags did you get over there?
We had 2 tags. So so in Iowa you can get basically a firearms and then an archery. So whether the firearms is a shotgun or a muzzle loader.
Yep.
And then, but also with that, kind of the cool thing that Iowa does with it, and I think South Dakota has a similar thing, is you can actually use crossbow. Any lesser weapon. So I actually shot a deer with my crossbow.
I watched that.
And it was just kind of one of those things, like, I just wanted to do it, and I had a muzzle loader sitting in my truck and the crossbow in the truck. That day I just like, it was pretty much the last day of the season. I was like, I want to shoot something with this crossbow. Just say I did it, So I was able to harvest the doe, and we go through meat so fast in our house. It was a blessing, to get one last deer on the ground.
Yeah, and you self-filmed that, right?
Yeah,
right? I watched it.
It was kind of interesting. Last year, we talked about balancing the cameraman, and so our main cameraman, is a nurse over at one of the hospitals in Sioux Falls. So he has a lot of midweek stuff off. He'll be on 3 on, and then have 4 or 5 days off. Okay. Well, it just had happened. Every deer that I actually shot was self-filmed last year.
How crazy is that?
But he had probably put in 70 days in the stand with me.
And of course, just you kill him when he's not there.
Yeah, and I think it kind of made him a little mad.
Oh, I would be.
Putting all that work. You just say he's bad luck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have to pick on him a little bit.
But yeah, so I actually self-filmed. That was how I got started. I had a little camera and I self-filmed. So I always feel comfortable with it. I can't let out too many details, but it kind of bit me in the rear this coming season. Yeah. So
I'll be excited to see how that turned out for you.
I was able to get pretty good shots of it all, and it's so weird how an episode comes together. It's you have so many minutes of stuff that you're doing in the background that you're filming and filming and filming, and then the actual opportunity, the shot is literally seconds. Yeah. So when we're putting together an episode, you think like, well, he was out there 50 some days in Iowa. I think he sat out with me, and we were tracking one specific deer, during that 50 some days. So it was kind of one of those things, like we passed up deer, we had opportunities. It wasn't that, it just wasn't what we were looking for at the time. So but then you literally get 15 seconds of the actual kill shot, and it's thrown on the back end of an episode where it's like, really, that's what's behind the content of filming on. So
yeah, dude, and it happens so fast. I'm like, we had podcasts. We did a while back, and we were talking about a couple of our hunts last year compared to this year, and we put out several films last year that were like 45 minutes, and this year we went and did some of the exact same hunts, like same tags, and like the deer I shot this year was literally we hiked out to our spot, which is an hour hike, hour drive, hour hike, and we get out there at sunrise, and I spot that deer 3 minutes, 5 minutes into legal time, and the deer's dead 20 minutes in the legal time, and you're like, this is going to be like a 4-minute film. Like,
now what do you do?
Yeah, it's just, but that's like the beauty of some of it is like you get to show, we talked about how, hey, last year we really showed how some of these hunts can be lengthy, and you put in the time, like you put in 50 some days for this on that stand, like, we put in all this time, and then sometimes, now we get to show, hey, sometimes they're out there, you got to be ready. Yep. And it happens like that. Like sometimes a little luck just happens and it falls into place like that. But from a film perspective, it does add a little stress for like, okay, what are we filling this in with? There'll be a lot of B-roll.
Yeah, we go down to Illinois every year. We have Illinois it's an awesome place. So I love to go there. It's over the counter tag. It's it's a reasonable price tag. It's like $400 for a buck doe tag.
Super reasonable.
Yeah, compared to other states, obviously South Dakota for non-residents, we're blessed as me as a non-resident for a couple years. I really appreciate it. Now I move back and I think, we should probably raise this price.
It's super, like us in Nebraska and even North Dakota, like really affordable. Oh yeah, really affordable.
Yep. So we go down to Illinois every year, and that's the one thing I think about every time we get down there is, we have a guy down there that. We call it semi-guided, so he does all the grunt work.
Okay, gets the stands.
Yep. That's kind of the one trip a year. It's just like I don't have to do a lot of the work. I can just get down there. And,
that's awesome.
Yeah, kind of our fellowship hunt too, and we can hang out. Not have to worry about the grunt work of it.
Yeah,
so,
enjoy the time together a little bit more.
Yep. So
That's
every
great.
time we go down there too, you think like he has the deer so well patterned for us. We think like, oh, opening morning we're gonna have a deer on the ground, and it's never. Every time I've been 3 for 3 down there, poking young bucks with my bow, and every time I went down there, it's been on the last day.
And sometimes the last hour, if I remember right.
Yep. The first year we went down there, literally had about 15 minutes left, and
Yeah.
I had a fresh cameraman. He had never touched a camera before we went down there. He was just jacked, and then
That adds to the story.
Yeah, and he did a phenomenal job. I mean,
Good.
Yeah, there's so much pressure behind that camera. Like, and I've been just fortunate with the camera guys that sometimes you just got to throw a guy behind the camera and
Letterbuck, dude.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he just did a phenomenal job on it, and he was all worried about it. But it was such a fun trip. But
Good.
yeah, that was last day, and it's just like that makes editing a lot easier because you have a whole week's worth of film. But yeah, like you said, that opening morning, first shot, daylight. Like, now what do we do?
Yeah, I actually enjoy the last going to the end because you have the footage. Like, Justin down in New Mexico always gives us crap because he's like, well, I'll book you for a 6-day hunt because I know we ain't killing until day 6. Or he's like, maybe I should just book you on a 3-day hunt because then we'll kill on day 3. Because like we always go until the last minute. It's just kind of it's just the style.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I remember seeing your post this year when you were down there and you were like, final stand.
Yeah.
And it was weird because like I was sitting here and I was like, he's gonna kill a deer tonight, and then like you Snapchatted me, like you had one down, and I was like, dude, I had this weird feeling that I just like I knew you guys were gonna kill a deer. It's like funny how you just sometimes you feel that, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like, like that. We were actually supposed to leave that morning, and talk to my bosses, and they said, hey, like, if you're tired tomorrow, it's not a big deal. You're down there, you've paid the money to go down there and stuff. So
that's cool.
And then I shot this deer at 3:15, 3:30, whatever, sometime in there. And so down there, it's a different world. Like, you hunt these ravines that drop down. Like it's a 100-foot drop off into the bottom of these ravines.
Okay.
So you're hunting the top of them on the field edges on these points, and so every year I've shot it, the deer never run uphill, right? They always go down the ravine. Yeah. So the shot was so steep that it actually had went out, perfect entrance, but it went out the bottom of the brisket.
Interesting.
So I obviously should probably put it 2 inches higher.
Right.
But, clipped along, and it just kind of went out the bottom of the brisket. Well, what happened is that my arrow had got stuck between the brisket and like right in the sternum area.
Okay.
So there was the arrow was just literally hanging below him, like half in, half out. So it plugged the hole.
So there's no blood.
Yeah. So we had, just a spray, and I'm using Rages this year. I have been for a couple of years now, and you get that initial Rage spray.
Yeah.
And then like you think like, oh, we're gonna find it within 50 yards, and then once that arrow had plugged up the hole from moving around,
crazy.
So we tracked him for I think like 150 yards, just spec, and it was dark out. And
sure.
Said, we're gonna pull out. I got a hold of my boss, and he said, don't worry about it. Come back. We'll see you when you get back. Not a big deal.
Nice. You have a good boss.
Yeah. So he's a hunter too, so that helps.
There you go. That's pro tip number 1.
Yep. Find a boss that's a hunter.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we literally stopped in a slough bed.
Okay.
And we're like, well, we don't want to jump him just in case. We'll pull out. Went back the next morning, and he was 10 foot away from where we stopped.
Nuh-uh.
Dead. Yeah.
Oh, dude. He could have been like taking all the footage, taking pictures, and been gone the next morning.
Yep. So we made for a long day, but a long sleepless night. But
yeah. Oh, yeah, because you're always wanting to just get your hands around, make sure everything's good. You don't want to
just
think
a
about it.
Feeling doing that.
Yeah.
Especially like the coyote. It's so thick down there. With
Did
coyotes.
they eat up any of it?
No, not
nice.
Us. Yep. So
nice.
that was pretty fortunate. Yeah. So
that's great.
Yep. So another one on the books.
So you're nailing. You got the New Mexico hunt. You got the Illinois stuff, and then did Cole get any stuff filmed this year too?
Yeah, he went out. He didn't draw anything this year actually. Like we always say, he has horrible drawing luck. He either draws all the tags one year, or nothing the next.
That stinks.
So next season, man, it's gonna be Cole.
It'll be all
season.
him. Yeah. Nice.
Probably just see glimpses of me here and there.
Right. Oh,
make sure the viewers.
Is Dusty still part of the show?
They didn't fire me.
Did he do some fishing this year?
Yeah, we did some. We actually took his kids out fishing this year and did an episode on that.
Cool.
Yeah, so
cool.
It's just his one kid. The first time we were supposed to go, he got mono or something. It was real sick.
Yeah.
So we're like, this is, it was just all about, showing them the excitement. And they just love seeing Dad on TV,
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, so much, like, even my kids, too.
Yep. I feel you. My kids even now, like, if even, like, anything remotely that's, like, outdoor hunting pops up on, like, YouTube or TV, they automatically think it's, oh, is this your show, Daddy? No. They just think that everything is, like, you're the only show that's out there. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Dude,
so, yeah, he should. So he went down, usually in years like that, then he'll go out and apply for the Rosebud tag.
Yep.
And so we got that.
Good.
He had some weird luck down there. So,
yeah. Be an interesting episode.
Yeah.
Good.
So, yeah. And that was actually, he got done. He came back the day I was leaving for Illinois.
Okay.
So I actually had to meet them on the road to get all the camera
stuff
from them and head out. So he was coming west and coming back from west, and I was heading out east. So it's kind of that's how our season went this year.
Yeah, you're just crisscrossing paths trying to make it work, dude. Like planning and it's hard. It's difficult, but it's fun. Like you think about, I'm sure you have days too where you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then you're like, dude, it's so awesome at the same time, and it's a fun.
Yep.
It's a fun thing. It's hard to explain unless you've done it or gone through it. Like it's hard to put words on it.
Yep. But, so we always, like, every year I try to do one trip that just, like, kind of a unique trip. Like the Audit Trip was that
the unique one.
Yep. And then we did an archery bear a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Was that season 1?
Yep. That was season 1.
Yeah,
the last episode of season 1.
Yep.
So we always try to do, like, we'll do the typical archery South Dakotas and Antelope and.
Yeah, because you're showing your story to the everyday guy that hey, you can go do this. I mean, that's your goal, right?
Yep. So we always try to find like an affordable, like when we went out with Justin. I mean, super, dude, to hunt those.
Audit tag is what, like $340 or something?
Yep. I mean, it's super affordable. Even figuring in the gas and everything. Like,
if you go down with a buddy, and then you go down there, even if you pay like Justin to guide you for 4 days, it's still not that expensive.
Yeah. I mean, and to see like. The land down there is just a different world.
Okay, so what did you think? You got down there, and the unit we were hunting, that was big boy country.
Yeah,
like different than that Audit that was killed. It was still big boy country, but the unit we were in last year is some big country. Like what did you feel like? What were your? Did you come in the dark?
We got there right. You guys were coming back into camp.
So you got to see a little. I think you got to see a little light then.
Yep.
What was your like initial thoughts when you're like rolling in, and then like even the next morning when he got you out in some of these remote places? We were like, what were your thoughts?
It's so you get south of Roswell there, and it's just like you're kind of in a flat area, and then you kind of come up what we call elk country. Like it kind of looks like our Black Hills there for a few miles. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you just drop into this plateaued desert
nothingness.
Yeah. It's so like it's like 3 different worlds coming through there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like we didn't. I've seen obviously your episodes out there, and just Facebook stuff that Justin has posted. So you kind of know a little bit to what to expect. But that first morning we went out and we got into a canyon there, and we kind of glassed out the bottoms, and then not knowing how to hunt these things, basically you get an advantage point on them, and kind of work your way on the top of these peaks. And it's just so so it's steep going up there. When you get on the top, a lot of them are just completely flat.
Yeah, they're like huge, monstrous plateaus. So like picture if you've been in South Dakota, like you go to the Badlands and you have all this badlandy, and then at the top you have these grassy plateaus, but they're kind of small. Think about those, but they run for like a mile and a half. Up top, they're crazy.
We got on one like the second day, and a real nice one, and he got onto the top of it. We could get like 600, and it wasn't like he was being spooked. It's just like they grazed that fast. I mean, there's you can never keep up with them. You try to cut them off. Yeah,
they just like nonstop meander,
and they just go for miles and miles and miles. And that was the one thing, like, until you get to the top and you're like, oh, now you can see why they make such good timing up here. There's nothing, it's just flat.
Yeah, and you think you're going to get to the top, and then you're just going to like pull up and find them and shoot. And you're like up there, and you're like, okay. And so then you start walking, and you think you're just going to like walk a little bit and like jump to the other side. And like you walk for 20 minutes, and you're like, okay, still not to the other side. Yeah, it's just like, you don't realize how big it is until you're up there walking. It just takes time to get everywhere.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, that place definitely. I missed one out there.
Okay.
Yep. It was a 400. It was literally last day. We are driving out of there to go back to the camper, pack up stuff.
Yep.
And we'd spotted one, and like we ran literally 3/4 of a mile dead sprint to get a setup on there.
Nice.
So I'm
You're so
set
lucky
up.
you did running gun training going into that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I get up there and I like the most I mean, I have about 50. We could probably fill an excuse podcast up.
Ooh,
with how many excuses.
Excuse podcast. Nice.
But I just didn't, it was 450-yard shot.
Sure.
Just, you're breathing hard. Like, the thing I'm thinking is, like, I have to haul this thing out of here yet. And I just shot over its back. Like, I was just down on myself. And
yeah, beating yourself up a little bit.
But, I got an opportunity. And we had opportunities all week. We really, and you guys were out there, and you too, you kind of, it was weird hunting that week, I think. It was
super weird.
Yeah.
Like, the sheep were just, it was odd. Like, we had 3 tags. Travis filled his with a toad. I could have shot a small one out of his group that I didn't, because I was trying to give Matt a chance first, because I had killed an oryx a couple days before. So I was like, I didn't need to fill 2 tags. Like, I wanted everybody to kill something, you know. So I was giving Matt a little extra time to get up this hill to shoot it, and I could have easily just drilled him. I was trying to get Matt up there, and we just couldn't make it happen. And then we passed some smaller ones that week, but it was still, like you said, like we weren't seeing a ton of rams or anything.
Yeah, we got on it like the first day. We're in a group of like, I don't know, probably 20, and there's some toads in there.
Yeah, Justin sent me that picture, and I was like, we weren't even at South Dakota yet. I was like I think we were in like Raton or somewhere north, like just dropped off Matthew, and I was like, I didn't even have to work after that. I was like, I'm gonna turn right back around and go back down.
And that, that's a first. I think that was about midday that we had ran across that, but we got out of the little UTV and we got on one right away. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be,
this is an easy hunt.
And then you start hiking after them. It's like, oh,
and they ghost you.
Yeah, and they just disappear.
And you're looking at this huge, vast openness and stuff. You're like, there's no way they can disappear on me. But those dang sheep are so hard to see.
Yeah, they blend in.
They blend in. They look exactly like the rocks, and they can go in and sit behind these rocks or these yuccas, and you will not find them.
Yep.
Like you don't. I have a buddy that was applying, and he's like, should I apply in the outfitter pool or the non-outfitter pool? I'm like, dude, apply in the outfitter pool. Like, it's worth even doing a 2-day hunt, because I'm like, trust me, they are. If you've never seen them, you're never gonna find one. Like, they're just hard to see.
Yep.
Like, especially the first time. Like, go gain that experience and see, how to find them, what they actually look like out there. Because honestly, like, I have never spotted one before Justin spotted one.
Oh yeah, he has eagle eyes.
It's always my goal is like, I want to find one before he sees it. Nope. He's like, oh, there's 2 over here, and I'm like, I glassed that already. Like, I missed it, and I consider myself pretty good behind the glass, but Audit or just at least where we're hunting.
Yep.
It takes talent, legitly, to find them.
Yep. And so obviously I got connected with Justin through you.
Yeah.
But I was actually, how I got interested in hunting this Audit, as I was watching one of the big outdoor TV shows, and a guy shoots one out of a blind with his bow.
Okay.
And I'm thinking like, oh, well, this is like, it was a cool animal, and that's what interested me. And then I'd seen yours, and I'm like, oh, like, let's go do this. Like, this will be fun. Mm-hmm. And then you get out there, and like, so I was using, you were obviously rifle hunting, and it's like, oh, like, yeah, this is going to be a 150-yard shot,
Right.
So I honestly, back to my excuse episode, is like, I never thought I was going to take a shot that far out there. Like, looking at the territory, it's like, oh, like, I'll just be able to go around this ridge and 150-yard shot.
You better be able to shoot 400.
Easy.
And, and that's your close shot.
Yep.
Like, you better legitly be able to shoot 6.
Yep.
Like, be prepared to shoot 6, but you got to be able to shoot 4. Because most of the time, Justin can, if you can sneak a little bit, and like, he can get you. You can get within 450. Like, me and Matt shot his at 450. I shot mine at like 410 or something when we doubled up in there. But yeah, dude, it's just like, that country is really hard to get close. Like, guys want to go hunt that country with their bows, and I'm like, I've had a couple people ask me about that too. Like, can I go down with my bow? And I'm like, you can. Yeah. Like, if you want to kill one, I wouldn't. Not that I've seen it happen. I've seen some photos guys posting up, but like, I would say your odds of killing an Audit in that country with a bow is like 1%.
Yep. Yeah, like even like the yuccas. I mean, they're only like,
there's nothing to hide.
Yeah,
you can't sneak.
They're not even. Well, they're belly height on me, so I mean, they're not very tall. Then.
Yeah, exactly.
2 foot tops.
2 foot tops, exactly, dude. But, they're hard, man. Like, but in total difference, you said like saw one guy shoot one out of a tree stand with his bow. Like, total difference in what you and I did, or when we hunt down in New Mexico, then going and hunting in Texas on a high fence ranch where you can go kill one out of a tree with the bow if you want to kill one with your bow.
Exactly.
But totally different experience for sure.
Yep,
for sure.
It's just it's a cool animal. So that we applied last year, then we didn't get it last year. We're gonna put it in again for this year.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Good.
It's so addicting. But my brother-in-law, he filmed for that one, and I think
That's right.
Yeah, so he wants to apply. So
good.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna put it back in again this year.
You have to. It's a fun deal. I can't wait that I drew it for this coming year. So we'll head down on like the 16th or 17th of February. So I got another like 5 weeks to go, which is good because I'm like, I got to step up the cardio a little bit before I head down there.
Yeah, that's what I like about that hunt too. Is it's that February hunt. Like it's not during it's not during the rut. It's not during the deer season. It's kind of like an extra bonus season. Like
so it is. It is like such a bonus season. Yeah. So talking about that February, like that off season, like opportunities, we're already January 1st, and so tag season is basically here already.
Yeah.
Which I'm not ready for. Like usually I'm like so jacked for tag season, and I'm already like still trying to finish up stuff. I feel like the schedule's just been a little bit crazy this year, and I'm like, okay, I got to start thinking about doing my research, seeing where I want to put in for. Do you have anything on your radar?
Yeah.
That you kind of are ready to attack this year? I think you have a good chance of drawing.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Man, so we should get our Iowa tags this year, Iowa archery.
Okay.
So I'm kind of banking on that one. We'll put in for New Mexico elk and Audit again. So I probably should ask your dad if he wants to apply with me for that.
Nope, he's taking. Actually, I'll take bids on it.
There you go.
So everybody knows what we're talking about. I've applied with my dad. So the first Western hunt I ever drew for my first season was a New Mexico elk hunt, archery elk, in an awesome unit. And so that was season 1, the first hunt we ever filmed. And then season 2, me and my dad didn't apply together, didn't draw. Season 3, we did not. I don't think we applied together for a couple of years. And then I applied together with him again for season 5, and we drew, and then turned around and applied with him again for season 6, and drew again. Yeah. And so I'm like, all right, I'm never not applying with Dad again. He's my good luck charm.
I mean, the odds of that tag too, that's like a
6%, 7%.
If you do the outdoor, the outfitter pool goes up a little bit, right?
That is the outfitter pool draw. Yeah, so it's like 7%.
It's low.
Without it, it's like 1 or 2%. It's like stupid to even apply. Like put in for the outfitter pool.
Yeah.
And so dude, like.
To have it 3 times, it's
3 out of 7 years. Like super lucky, and it's all because when Dad applies with me. So,
so
I'll take bids. Whoever wants to apply with my dad, we'll start the bidding. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Okay, so New Mexico elk and Audit you're gonna put in for.
Yep, and then depending on how we draw those, I usually have a pretty thorough process. Everyone has when you call it tag season, it literally is a season because you have to have a strategy.
Yes,
you have to have a plan. And you have to have dates, and it's like watching the weather. Like you got to watch. Like I watch the mail. You got to check online every day, and because you don't want to, I don't want to draw New Mexico and then have my Colorado tags in. And all of a sudden, I have 3 elk tags.
Yeah, so, and you're gone for. Oh, you couldn't even hardly do it.
No, and yeah. So that's kind of our plan is we're gonna get an elk hunt in this year. I have the backup of the backup plan. So
nice.
About 4 or 5 years ago, we went down to Idaho. It's over the counter tag. So we haven't been down there for a few years. So we kind of said, if we don't draw, we'll go down there and do that.
Perfect. And you killed a bull on that trip.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting. So like down there, the wolf infestation's so high, they won't bugle back at you. So it was literally like we stumbled across this 330-inch bull, and like it was just to get like
crazy
100-yard shot. Like it just doesn't happen that.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yep. So we'll go down there. That's the national forest down there, Chalice Salmon area. So
sweet.
That's kind of our backup plan if we don't. But I feel good about a couple of the states that we'll put in.
Yeah. So you mentioned Colorado.
Yep. Colorado, Wyoming. I got a classmate of mine out in Montana that he trying to get me to go out there, so we'll probably put in. That's kind of a little spendier tag, but
it is expensive to get in. You're over $1,000.
Yeah,
only 80% back.
Yep. That's kind of like
I know. I'm usually a guy that's like says never apply for just points. Like always put in on your chance of drawing something early. And but the tag I want in Montana, it's going to take me a few years, and I've just been buying my points. So I'm like, I am not going to. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like you say, like season planning, like you have to plan financially too, because you're putting money on a credit card that sits for X amount of weeks till you get your refund back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I saved myself $1,200 by just buying my points in Montana.
Yeah.
So
so I think we'll do that, and then obviously the archery stuff around here. I got think this will be my 7th year for Hills applying.
Nice.
So I kind of got stuck with that non-resident, couldn't apply for a couple of years, but
Yeah.
luckily, you don't lose your points still. You just can't apply for new ones. So
Yeah. So are you gonna put in like have you sat down and like really thought about you can only pick 2 of the seasons, right? For South Dakota out of the 7 or 8, whatever it is.
Yep.
Have you decided what 2 you're gonna do?
Not really.
Not really?
No, it all depends on that. The New Mexico. I think if I draw that, I'll just put in points for everything, and but. No, not really. It's kind of one of those things, just like see how everything else.
It's hard to decide. I've already been thinking about it, which is like the way it's kind of like when ESPN puts out like the day after the Super Bowl, like the way too early predictions for the Super Bowl, like NFL rankings. That's how I feel with this. It's like my way too early South Dakota option
South Dakota
predictions.
Basically last. I mean, really in the tag process.
It is. It's one of the last things.
There's some leftover stuff, like Wyoming we always look into after Black Hills is drawn. That some spots out there that you're not going to see 350-inch bulls, but
you got to get your application for Wyoming in here pretty quick.
Yeah,
changed it up a little bit this year on
us. Yeah, when's it? It's February.
It's in January now. I think it's just the
February.
Month of January, right?
Okay. Yep.
I think. Yeah.
I was thinking the 1st was the deadline, so that's
maybe that's Yeah, crazy. That's the things to always keep on top of.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
Yeah, I got a black book that sits on my desk and I put them all in the deadlines. I put them in my phone so you get notifications. There's 2 seasons last year that I literally got a ding on my phone.
And you would have missed it.
Yeah, I'm like, smart. So I had to run, get it, luckily everything's online anymore, so get it thrown in there. And I remember I think it was Wyoming's, I did on the road, like pulled over, put in my credit card, like literally like down to minutes before it had to be in. I was like, but it's kind of a trophy unit that we're putting in for there, so I mean it might be, one that you'll probably never ever get, but if you do, it's, the one to have. So. Yeah,
the couple of units I want to hunt in Wyoming too. I'm a ways off from doing it too, and I'm like, and like if I would put in and pay for the special, I'd have a little bit better odds. But I'm like, but that's why they have that, because you have guys like me who look at the special pricing, and I'm like, ooh. Yeah. Same thing with Antelope. I really want to go. I have enough points to draw several good Antelope units in Wyoming. And I definitely could if I put in for the special tags. I'm like $600 some bucks for a freaking Antelope tag, or I wait a few more years and just do the $300 some dollar option. Yeah. And so it's like, dude, it makes you think. But I kind of like how they have that set up, because it does inhibit some people from just like it splits up the pool a little bit. But Dad has a bunch of points for Antelope out there too, so I'm kind of like, maybe I just get points this year for that, and I plan on him putting in for a unit that he can draw. Sure. Use it as double up as a scouting mission, see if I like the unit too. Because he wants to go out to a good unit, and he's got the points to go to a couple different really good units. But,
is that rifle then?
Yep. I mean, he could do
either
muzzle loader archer too, but rifle for Antelope is like rifle that thing.
Yeah, we tried. This was our first year last year doing archery Antelope. And it was we went second weekend, so like August, second weekend opened in August, so like 20th or something around there. And it was 95. Went out Friday, did a little scouting. No, we went out opening weekend, so we went out Friday, did a little scouting. It was 95 degrees, like hot. And, like we got on it, just a nice one. Mm-hmm. Going out the next day, literally it got down to, I don't want to say it was like 42 degrees that night. You could tell front rolling it. And I had I didn't bring any heavy blankets with. Like we're tenting it, It's like, so there was there was a Dollar General in the town we're staying in. I went and bought this great big old comforter, and I'm like all rolled up. And then next day it hailed on us, and like we weren't really planning. We had a backup plan, like we'd sit some water holes, but there's so much water out there this year.
Yeah, such a wet year.
Normally archery out there, he's put a blind up on a water hole, like as long as you got the patience to sit there.
Yeah, so, if you sit there for 2 days, you can have some come in.
Yeah. So we waited the hailstorm out in the blind, and then 85 in the afternoon. It was just so weird. So
odd couple days for you guys. I remember that too, because you were Snapchatting me.
Hail beating down. And it's just like you could see the front, coming in at you out there. You can see miles and miles and miles. And so it was fun. It was interesting. Mm-hmm. We made an episode out of it, but it's
sweet,
pretty comical more than anything.
Yeah, more than comedic relief. Yeah, that's awesome.
Probably one you think like, how do these guys have a TV show?
Yeah, that's hilarious, dude. So you're back in South Dakota. So you mentioned your points back. So did you have South Dakota like elk points that you're going to be going in again then?
Yep. So I had prior to moving back, I had 6. I'd actually made the deadline. I had I can't remember what the deadline for elk was last year.
I think it's in May.
Mid-May or something like that. I had not switched my license over.
Oh.
So, and I totally just spaced it out, that elk was coming up. and I had to go over. So I thought I had to go over here to Canton, which would be the county seat for us as well.
Yep.
So I drove literally the day that it was due. I drove to Canton to get my driver's license switched over. They told me they can't do it in Canton, that everything goes out of Sioux Falls. So I drove back to Sioux Falls, and they were closed. Oh, so this is the day before. So I called the DMV and asked them what's the soonest they open up in Sioux Falls tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because by this time it was like 4:30 and they're closed. And he said they open at 7. So I literally pulled in the parking lot of the DMV at 7 a.m. prior to work, went in, got my license switched back over, got back out to the car, applied, and got everything in on time. It was nerve-wracking.
And weren't the, I think, like, applications are at like 8 a.m. right?
Yeah, it was literally like I got in minutes before it was due. I was like, oh.
It's crazy. That's good, though. You got the application. Actually, I mean, you could have bought the points after, but, like, you always want to have the chance of drawing.
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
So that's awesome, dude.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we got everything in. So, yeah, we'll have, I think this will be the 7th year applying.
Cool.
Because, like you said, when we're in Iowa, you don't lose those points. You still keep them with you. You just can't apply.
Right.
So we got back. It's not like you're starting at 0 again.
That's nice.
Yeah, that would have been awful.
Almost like discouraging to even want to start.
Yeah, that would have
Just
tears.
such a hard draw anymore, man. It's tough. But at least you're getting close to that 10-year tier where you jump up a little bit and feel like you actually have a little bit more of a chance.
Yeah.
Still tough, but a little bit more of a chance anyway. So
yeah,
that's cool. What else are you got? Anything else on the radar for draw tags?
There's a couple units that we always apply for some other states for muzzleloader that we're looking. They're kind of like we said, those trophy units that kind of a bonus if you draw them, And,
yep.
We kind of looking into Nebraska for some muzzleloader and kind of some spots on that. We're going to do a public land over in Nebraska, and that's
nice.
It's so weird. Nebraska's, you've been out there. It's just their public land's kind of weird how it's set up.
It's really odd. It's really odd. You gotta be careful. You gotta really know the stuff.
Well marked. Like ours are, our public lands are pretty well, set up and boundary wise, and there's kind of take your GPS.
Yeah, for sure, dude. For sure. Well, cool, dude. Anything else you want to leave the podcast with today? I always kind of like to stop and think and be like, all right, we named the podcast the Live Beyond Average podcast, and that's so. I mean, it's not just about hunting. It's not like our business is obviously hunting and fitness, but there's so much more to that when it comes to just that Live Beyond Average. And our take is just how those things fall into place and help you live a life beyond average, whether it be being a better dad, a better husband, all those different things. What does it mean to you to live a life beyond the linear confines of average?
Definitely with the show and just not to make your head too big over here, but just our relationship over the years, it's just kind of always like like that Illinois hunt, and you said I've been thinking, and you said you're praying, just hoping that to have that friendship and fellowship that just encourages you to be a better hunter, a better dad. We have so much in common, and there's so many of us out there that that's the best part about the show is we meet people like this. Guys come up to you and you're in Shields and they say, hey, what's going on this season? And you tell them, well, I'm being a dad. Right. We got a 1 year at home. Our kids are somewhat similar in ages too, and
right.
It just you have to be family always comes first, and then everything else just kind of falls in place. And how can we be the best in there? And so just to live above average and just put your best foot forward in each and every aspect. Not, I would love to say, hey, I want to be the best hunter, and everything else will fall in place. But you got to be the better man, the best man you can, and then the hunting will fall in place.
Right.
That's a big thing that I've got out of the TV show and all the other side things we do in life. It's just until you put your best foot forward at home, everything else just falls into place.
Right. Yeah. And I think you're right on par with that too, and I think that's things that we learn after being in the situations, because when you are somebody who heavily has big ambitions and goals, you're doing a lot all the time, and you think by putting so much energy into these other things that you'll succeed, when really it's these things actually are tiered a little bit down here, and the things that are more important, being at home with your kids and your wife, and being in church and doing all those things, actually that's where the energy needs to form, and then these things actually thrive better because of it, because everything meshes so much better. And that's one thing I've had to learn, just through it all. It's not something that I just knew. Okay, yep, I do this. No, it's you have to go through it and experience it and make the adjustments.
Yep. Yeah, like we talked about that season 1. It's just what am I doing? And then I remember my wife thinking how much time are you going to spend on this? You know, and I don't think she knew how much time was involved. I didn't know how much time was involved in the balance and everything. And then, you know, we had conversations on how do you balance this? How do you make hunting work and hunting and being at home and, you know, incorporating the two, like taking Amy out and you know, doing all the things you love together. And that's what you said. Just it flows in when you focus on the right things. Everything else just flows in together, you know, and that's what living above average has been for me.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Cool, man. I'm so pumped you finally got to make it on the show. We're into that season now where, you know, I think we should probably do some more podcasts like this. Like as we go, finish the thing up, always touch base, and then I really think it'd be sweet to get a bunch of us down here together and do like a round table podcast. And just like all these different ideas flowing would be pretty sweet. But all right, thanks for jumping on the show.
Yeah,
if you guys have any, where can viewers find you, like your socials, if they want to check out your stuff? Yeah,
so we're on Instagram, Facebook, Scowt Stories on both of those, and then YouTube too, Scowt Stories. Scowt is spelled wrong, Scowt, so
tricky.
Kind of a little play on words there in a long another podcast.
Perfect. So SCOWT Stories, Scowt Stories. They'll find you. And check out your first 2 seasons are on YouTube.
Yep, everything's up on YouTube now. So,
and you can check out season 3 coming this summer.
Yep, August, first weekend in August. I think we're staying the same time slot, so 9 a.m. and then re-airs at 1 p.m. on Monday morning. So.
Sweet, awesome. Well, thanks for jumping on the podcast today, everybody. Of course, if you love the podcast, share it with somebody you know from a small business perspective. Just every little tiny share like that means a ton to us. So thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time.